Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we take a look at the new Papo Suchomimus. Papo is a brand that has not been featured on this channel in a very long time. I actually went back and checked. The last time I reviewed a new Papo figure was well over 4 years ago, and there's a couple reasons for that. One, they kind of got really sporadic with their dinosaur releases, and two, there was a massive dip in quality and sculpting. Need I remind you about the Protoceratops and Concavinator? And it really turned me off to the brand. And I've been a huge fan of this brand for a very long time. I was always collecting the Carnegie collection. And then one day I just walked into a shop and I saw that beautiful green Papo T-Rex sitting on the shelf. And it really opened my world into dinosaur figure collecting. So I'm glad that they're back. The Suchomimus is absolutely fantastic. I ended up ordering mine off eBay from someone in Germany, but I'm going to leave the link down below to Everything Dinosaur. They're a very trusted company if you want to get these figures. So just going to jump into measurements really quick since there's no packaging to go over with this figure. So I measure along the curve of the head, neck, and tail. This figure is 14.5 inches long, or 36.8 centimeters, and about 3.5 inches high at the hips, or 8.9 centimeters. So Suchomimus in real life is between 31 to 36 feet long, or 9.5 to 11 meters. So put this figure in the 125 to the 130 scale range. Now take a look at some of the finer details on this figure. In typical Papo fashion, the figure is sculpted in an unorthodox pose. A lot of figures, the head's always facing forward. Papo usually goes against that, and we have a lot of weird, posed figures from them. And I do appreciate that. It gives them a lot more life and character. The Suchomimus is sculpted in mid-stride with its head turned to the side. I'm sure a lot of people would prefer the head pointing forward, but I just appreciate the variety that Papo gives us with their sculpts. Now taking a look at that absolutely beautiful head sculpt. That's a nice Suchomimus head sculpt. The eye is done in yellow with a black pupil. You have a little bit of white striping along the upper and lower jaws, a little bit of red around the orbit and the crest above the eyes, and a little bit of black along the top of the very, very thin head, all the way to the snout. The teeth are all painted in nice and white. And I always say in all my reviews, Papo is the master of the articulated jaw on mass-produced dinosaur figures. And it's no exception on the Suchomimus. It works very, very well. And then going down to the neck, you do have a little bit of a cream coat for the underside of the neck. And then going down to those very powerful and stout forearms. You can see the hand claws are decked out in black paint. And then going down to the body, lots of nice sculpted detail all over the body. You have these rows of scoots, very heavy scooting over the hips and along the thighs. Some cream-colored splotches mixing in with all that green. You have a nice little airbrushing of black along the top of the body. Going down to the hind legs, the foot on mine is a little bit warped. The day this thing got delivered, it was like a record-breaking temperatures for New England. It was over 100 degrees, so I think it got a little bit warped sitting outside for a few hours before I got home from work. The hind legs nicely sculpted, nice powerful calf muscles, toe claws still in black. You have some spikes above the hips, and then going down to the tail, that dark green just transitions into a black striping pattern with a little bit of white mixed in, and then flipping the figure over, you get a little bit more of that cream coat, a very nice cloaca slit. So yeah, all around, it's nice to see Papo returning to their roots, because I have no idea who the hell was sculpting their figures over the last few years. Completely turned me off to them, but I'm glad that they're back. Moving on with comparisons, here it is with Collecta's 140 scale human. Next up are a couple Suchomimus figures from other companies. To the left over here, we have the PNSO, and the front is the Safari Limited. Yeah, so Suchomimus has had a few decent figures over the years, and all of them are pretty good. Out of the three, if I had to pick one, I really like the Papo. I know it's not in scale for 135 scale. It's just a really cool and impressive figure. Next up are some other Spinosaurs that Papo has done over the years. In the back over there is the thing they had the balls to call a Baryonyx, really weird figure. And in the middle is that limited edition Spinosaurus that they did years ago. And fun fact, I had a paddle tail before the paper came out that Spinosaurus had a paddle tail. So yeah, we have a couple species from them. Baryonyx really not that great. Just shows you how weird Papo can get sometimes. They've never claimed that they do scientifically accurate figures. So once in a while you get something weird like that. Next up is a group shot of various other Papo figures. In the back over here, we have the highly contentious Giganotosaurus that threw the Dinosaur Toy blog for a tizzy when that got announced. The Cryolophosaurus, Pentaceratops, and Parasaurolophus. Fun fact, Parasaurolophus was the last new Papo figure I reviewed on the channel. So yeah, having these few figures together, this is a small sample of their dinosaur collection. You can see, like Papo breathes a lot of life in their figures. They're very unorthodox poses compared to everyone else, and I can really appreciate that. And of course, we have to compare it to the OG Papo Green Tyrannosaurus Rex. I reviewed this figure like in a retro review a couple years ago. I can't describe how much this figure means to me. When I walked into a store and I first saw this thing, I was absolutely blown away by the quality and the paint apps on it. And I've had this figure ever since, like, I think it might have been out for a few months from release. It was somewhere in like the 2010-ish area. I probably have the date wrong, but I've had this figure for a long time. It's been kicked around in boxes. It's been displayed, and it barely has any wear on it. It just goes to show you how some Papo figures are super, super durable. Like, I really, this thing has been kicked around a lot, and there's barely a scratch on it. And lastly, let's end this with an LRAS formation group shot. That is the formation that Suchomimus is found in. It is located in Africa. So we have the Holland Oranosaurus and the Safari Limited Nigersaurus. As you can see, the Suchomimus is very oversized compared to these two figures, but like it really doesn't matter to me because it's such a good figure. So final thoughts on Papo's Suchomimus. It's really good to have you back, Papo. I've actually missed you over the years. I didn't miss spending money, but you know what? When you're bringing back figures of this quality, I will definitely bite, and they definitely have a really cool lineup for 2025. We got that feathered T-Rex, Utyrannus. I think I'm missing something else, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna pick up most of the new stuff from this year. It looks really cool. I know they came out with an Impellosaurus. But the Holland one is far superior, and that's going to be my definitive version of that species. But yeah, really cool figure. Sculpt and detail is spot on. Great paint apps. That jaw articulation is pretty much perfect, per Papo standards. Yeah, definitely highly recommend this figure. Like I said, beginning the review, I ended up getting mine from a seller on eBay, but I'm going to leave everything Dinosaurs linked down below in the description. I think I paid around $35 for this, and then with shipping and came like closer to $50. So that will do it for the review. I got the Holland Torosaurus coming in. I got another rebirth or two dinosaur figure review. If I have some time, I'll try to throw those up on the channel. So stay tuned for all that. And as always, if you're enjoying the content on this channel, show your support by hitting that subscription button just below the video. Each subscription helps out the channel tremendously and it's greatly appreciated. And I'll see you guys for the next one.